Hello YouTube. In this video we are going to talk about the way I program my bench days. I'm a bodybuilder, so when you hear bench day, I just mean that most of the exercises I'm going to do are going to be variations of the bench. The reason why I do them is because I want to target my chest, shoulder and triceps. So the first day is going to be a conventional or rather competition bench day. And I'm going to start with slingshot bench. I personally always do touch and go slingshot bench because I don't want to give up on the touch and go on the bench, but it kills my shoulders. And I still want to be able to move heavy weight because I feel that the stretch at the bottom is unmatched. So I do it with a slingshot. I will open up with that. And I will do 1 to 3 heavy sets going from 4 to 8 reps. If you're wondering about my sets and my reps, I made videos about it in that same playlist. I follow that up with pose bench. What is the logic behind that? Well, pose bench is going to work the chest much more because I'm going to do it without a slingshot. And the reason why I can do it without a slingshot is because the pose allows me to stay tight, to not overextend my shoulders, and I have zero issue with pain in my rotator cuff when I do pose bench. I'm going to superset the pose bench with dragonflies for my abs and with some band work, which I call strength restoration 1. I'm going to be making a video about that type of band work. For the pose bench, I'm going to do 3 heavy sets. Same rep range, 4 to 8. After I'm done with pose bench, we move on to overhead press. This is on that day the reason why there is not much more bench volume. I want to keep my shoulders fresh to be able to push weight on the overhead press, because the overhead press is going to be another strength work movement for me. So I'm going to ramp up with the overhead press, I'm going to warm up, and I'm going to be doing 6 heavy sets. The way I program the overhead press is I'm going to start with a warm-up heavy, so let's say 135 for 5, and then I'm going to move up to my maxes. So right now it's 155 for 4 or 5, and then I'm going to temper down to 135, go back up to 155, back down another time, and then back up again. So I start with a warm-up of the lowest weight, and I always finish with a max number of sets of reps of the higher rep. This allows me to get more volume because I feel like, at least for me, presses need a lot of volume and frequency to grow, especially the overhead press. It's very hard to get stronger on it, but in my opinion, if you get a stronger overhead press, you'll get stronger shoulders and bigger as well, which is what I care about. I superset the overhead press with chin-ups. I don't count the reps, I do them close grip. And I usually do between 4 to 10 reps, and I'll end up doing them for all my warm-up sets and for all my walking sets. So it usually ends up being between 60 to 100 reps of chin-ups for that session. Chin-ups, why? Shoulder health. I want to balance all the triceps work I just did with all my presses, and it's also going to work my lats, which are a weak point and cannot get enough volume. Your back can recover from a lot, and especially from calisthenics. Calisthenics are not taxing. And I'm going to superset the chin-ups with what I call larats, which is basically knee raises hanging from the bar for the abs. After that, usually I'm pretty much burnt out. If I still have some energy in me, I'm going to do a giant set. I'm going to do some band work followed by some still more chin-ups, and then some push-ups, some side raises, and also some front raises with an elastic band, which is something that's on the channel if you're interested. And then after that, I have curls with elastic band for bicep tendon health, neck training, and then some calves, very high volume calf training to send some blood in there. And after all of that, I finish up with abs and I pack it up, I'm done for the day. So this is number 1 of 2 bench days. This one is the one with the least amount of volume and with the least accent on chest, because overhead press is thrown in there. So once that is done, there's going to be a 3-day period where I'm going to be doing other stuff. I'm going to do squats, deadlift, arms, whatever. There is going to be another upper body day 2 days after that, but it's going to be focused on biceps, and there will be no benching motion, no horizontal push motion in there. Second day of bench. Second day of bench, I start again with slingshot bench. What I really like about the slingshot bench is that it warms my body up for the motion, meaning that if I start benching, even with a pause, and I put 185 on the bar, it's going to feel weird on my shoulders. It won't hurt, but it won't feel nice. But if I do some sets and reps with like high 200s, 300 pounds with the slingshot, I can then move on to 225 bench pause and it feels like nothing, which is a great way for me to walk around the pain. Slingshot bench, I follow that up with the spotter press, which you've seen on the channel. For 4 sets, and for spotter press, I go up to 12 reps. I really want to feel the pump. I immediately superset the spotter press with skull crushers for the long head of the triceps. Then I do some dragonflies for the abs and some bend work. So that's 4 sets. I then move on to close grip bench. So we're already doing a ton of volume and we're finishing up with the close grip that I superset with Bradford press. For some who don't know, the Bradford press is a behind the neck press superset with an overhead press. All of that is high volume. So close grip, 10 reps, Bradford press, 15 reps, followed by the skull crusher, 12 reps. You best believe at that point my arms are on fire. And I finish up to give some rest to the triceps with dragonflies and then back to close grip. So that's also 4 sets. At this point in the workout, I have done more than 100 reps with medium to heavy weight on the bench press. So my chest is pretty much burnt out. But there's still some room for hypertrophy and growth. So I usually do some ring work afterwards. So I will do some pull-ups with the rings. I will do some push-ups with the rings. I will also do some side delt raises with low weight and high volume. Because since there is no heavy overhead press in there, my shoulders and especially the side and the back are still quite fresh. And then I might finish with a push-up and some pull-up superset, some bend work, and then some neck training, some calf training, ab training, and then I stop. So that's my 2 bench days, which are really chest days with triceps and shoulder work thrown in there. Because of the way my program is scheduled, if you've looked at my video, I will either be benching twice a week or 1 time a week. And usually I make the best progress with this type of setup. It allows me to control the intensity and the volume. This takes quite a long time. My number 1 bench day usually takes me 2 hours, 2 hours and a half, and the other one takes 3 hours because it's a lot of volume, it's a lot of reps. That's pretty much what works for me, and this is what I do for my bench. Thank you for watching and have a good day.